So the day is finally here. I'm going to show you guys my everyday makeup routine. I always go for like a glowy base and natural eyes. So that's what I'm going to show you guys today. So I always start off with prepping my skin with skin food. This is literally the best prep for your makeup. So I usually go very light on my skincare in the morning. I usually just go in with some skin food and eye cream if I feel like my eyes are extra puffy. And then nighttime I do all my serums and oils and stuff like that because I don't really like that much product underneath my makeup, and I feel like this one makes your skin and makeup look 10-10. It has like this tacky feeling to it after a while, and it makes your foundation apply so much better on the skin. So I definitely recommend this. And yes, you need the original one, not the light one, because it's not giving the same way as this is given. After I've done my cream and everything, I go in with my brows, but I already did them now because otherwise we would be here for hours and hours and hours. So the products that I use for my brows are just the Anastasia Brow Freeze. This is literally the best in the game. My spoolie for this is so dusty and old, but I don't know what it is. This is just the best to apply for my brows, and I usually like brush them up, let them sit for a while, and then I brush them into place. And one thing I've learned about this thing is not to leave the lid open because it actually dries out so quickly. So make sure you take your product and close it because you want this to last as long as possible. To fill in my brows, I either go in with the I go in with the Refi brow pencil in medium. This is my favorite brow pencil ever. I sometimes prefer to go in with an eyeshadow instead. I feel like I have more control and can actually like shape the brows more, if that makes sense. So I sometimes go in with this too to fix up the brows, and that's all I do. I just take like a Q-tip afterwards and take away any excess brow freeze on my skin. Ever since I started using setting sprays before my makeup, I feel like my makeup had been lasting so much longer, and it adds some extra glow to the skin too. This is probably the best tip I have for long lasting makeup and just glowy skin. Honestly, best. And these three combined, so fucking good. So I go in with my Kaya, that extra hydration setting spray, and just spray my face. Oops. My current favorite foundation is the MAC Radiant Serum Foundation. They literally just launched this last year and I'm obsessed. I remember back in the days I was such a MAC babes, but I kind of left that era, but I'm coming back again. I use this in the color NC42. I would say that this foundation is more light to medium coverage. I feel like this is very buildable, so you could work it up to a more high coverage foundation, but I prefer to just go in with one layer. I'm actually trying out a new sponge today. This is the Refi sponge. I've heard so many good things about it, and my sponge will look very dusty, and I was not about to show that on camera. I think I've had that sponge for like at least 6 months, so it's a time for a new one. So far so good. That's the foundation on, and as you can tell, it's very glowy and dewy, and it has the most like natural finish to it. Concealer is one of my favorite steps in my makeup routine because I do love a really bright under eye. So I have a couple of concealers that I love. I'm currently trying out the Hourglass ones. I really love these. I prefer to use the Hourglass whenever I'm just doing a non-makeup look, if that makes sense, because it's really nice to just have on bare skin. And when I'm doing like full face, as I'm doing today, I usually like to go in with the Beauty Skin Concealer from Charlotte Tilbury, and I use these in this color 7.5 medium and 5 medium. 5 medium is very bright, but as I said, I do love a bright under eye. So to start off, I go in with the 7.5 medium from Charlotte Tilbury and just add it here and here. And then I go in with the Kaya concealer in NW. I think it's, I don't remember the name of this concealer, but it's really good. It's actually a Swedish makeup brand, and they have really good makeup products, so definitely check them out. So a tip I have when it comes to concealer is to leave it on for like a minute or two to make it dry down a bit, because I feel like the coverage and just the finish is way better after you let it actually dry. So we're just gonna let it sit for a while, and while we're waiting I usually go in with my Refi bronzer in the color Tan. I know it looks messed up, but I just love this one. I actually go in with like a regular bronzer brush to bronze up the face. I just prefer the finish of using a brush and then the beauty blender. And then I just always go in and dab everything out with my beauty blender. Can we take a second to appreciate my natural hair? I feel like I finally found the perfect wavy / curly hair routine and the perfect products for my hair. So definitely let me know if you want a video of me showing you that. But it just looks very healthy and long right now. So the bronzer is on and it's now time to blend out the concealer. Look at that concealer. It's airbrushed and flawless. That's the first layer of the concealer on. As I said, I do love a very bright under eye, so I'm actually gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury beauty concealer, but in medium 5 instead. And this is actually a very light concealer, but we want a very bright under eye. And this time I'm just putting it in the inner corner and I'm just gonna let it sit there. I think I found the most perfect blush from Refi in the color Sherry. Imagine the fact that I went from not liking blush to now applying a bright red blush on my face. I don't know what it is with this one, but it's just so good. So I always apply my blush with my beauty blender and I just go in like that and then dab it on my hand to get rid of excess product, because we like blush but we don't want to scare anyone away. So let's start light and then build it up instead. It's literally the perfect blush color, and you can build it up. Like I do like to apply a lot, but you can definitely tone it down and do like a lighter layer. But this reddish color is just so pretty and I feel like it really complements my skin color. And a little bit on the nose. If you ask me, you can never have too much blush on, so I'm just gonna apply some more. Let's blend out this concealer. So 3 beauty products that I definitely cannot live without is for sure concealer, brow pencil, and a lip liner. I was hesitating to say blush, but I feel like I could go a day without blush, but concealer, brows, and lips are so important for me, so I'm not leaving the house without that. It's time to set the face, and I just use this Too Faced translucent setting powder. Make sure to always blend your under eyes so there's no creases or nothing before setting. I don't really like to bake my whole under eye. I just go in lightly like that, and then I take some powder and just bake my crease lines, if that makes sense. So that's what I do. And don't forget to set your eyelids too. The way my eyelids crease is actually insane, so I need quite a lot of powder up here. And I just take some powder on my smile line. One thing about me, I'm gonna have smile lines. It doesn't matter how much I try and set or what foundation I use, I always get smile lines. I just always carry my beauty blender around with me, so whenever it looks like a lot, I just go over like this and just stab it away and it's all good. So I never really liked baking the whole under eye area. I prefer just putting in the crease because I feel like that's where I actually need the powder. Whenever I put powder too low down, I feel like I just get patchy and it just gets dry because I have very dry skin. So this is a hack if you have dry skin but you still crease under your eyes. Definitely try this out. So I'm just using this very old Sueva brush in the number 104 Luxe highlighter, I think. It's so scratched off. I've had this for like, I don't even remember when I got this, but it's just so good. And they discontinued this brush, so I can't get a new one, but I just love it for my under eyes. I always keep this brush in my bag with my Flawless Filter powder from Charlotte Tilbury. So whenever I get oily or too glowy throughout the day, I just apply a little bit around my nose and my forehead and sometimes my cheek to make everything look 10-10 again. As you probably noticed, I don't really use that much powders on my face. The only powder I really use is the one underneath my eyes to set my eyes. And I actually do prefer to use more creamy products on my face because it just feels like it blends in better on my skin and it just adds a more glowy, flawless finish to the skin. So I definitely recommend to try that if you have it. And for highlight, I prefer also to use a creamy one, and I just use the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty one in Spotlight. This one is so nice. And then I just go in with a brush. I don't even know where this one is from, but it's really good. And then I just dab it in and apply it on my skin. And just look at this difference. As you can tell, my skin is very glowy from just the foundation and the skin food that I used in the beginning. But this highlighter just melts into the skin and leaves the perfect finish. Look at that glow. And I just go in with my finger and apply this on my nose. How cute is that? And then I just apply it here to add some dimension to my nose and also a tiny bit on the bridge of my nose. That's my base basically done. I just go in with my ink sprays, the ones that I showed you in the beginning, and yes, I use all of them. And I know that you guys will probably ask where my earrings from. They're actually from a brand called Penda. I don't think they've launched yet, but I will leave a link down to their IG below so you can check them out because they have some really cute pieces. And then I just go in with the Hourglass Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray to finish everything off. While my setting spray is drying down, I just go in with my lip color from MAC in the color Cork. Always make sure to remove your foundation from your lips before applying any lip product. I do switch between these 5 lip glosses. I have Rhode, Hourglass, Kaya, or Refi, but today I'm going in with Refi in the color Orchid, I think. One thing about the Refi lip glosses though, they need to update their packages, but because it always ends up looking like this. I don't know why, but the package leaks a lot. But I do love the product. It's literally the most beautiful pinkish but still nude color. I just love a glossy lip, honestly. Okay, the only thing we have left now is eyes, and I'm very simple with my eyes. I just like to do a very subtle smoked-ish wing with eyeshadow. This is really good and it has very like neutral colors. It's the same color that I use for my brows actually, and I just create a very tiny little smoked wing with this. Something like that, and it's so simple. And I use this 333 brush from LH Cosmetics, I think it's called. It's a Swedish brand too. And I do like to do my liner a bit more straight, if that makes sense, just to extend the eye. That's all I really do to my eyes, and then I just curl them and go in with my telescopic mascara from L'Oreal. Nothing can beat this mascara. This is literally the best in the game. If you haven't tried it, try it ASAP because it's so freaking good. Just to look how big of a different mascara does. This is just one coat of the telescopic one, and this is without. Oh, I love this mascara honestly. And don't forget your bottom lashes because it actually makes your eyes look even bigger. And that's both eyes coated. I don't really like to apply a full lash on my eyes because I feel like it just drags my eyes down and kind of hides them, if that makes sense. So okay, don't look at this pack because I've actually been it's at the end. I need to get a new one, but I go in with these individual lashes from Ardell, I think, and I just use one at the corner of my eye to add a little more of a cat effect to my eyes. Just apply a tiny bit of glue to it and add it on the outer corner of my eye. And there you go. As you can tell, it just adds a very subtle little lift to the eye. And that's me done. Just look at this. Very glowy, skinny, still like natural makeup look. And this is literally the makeup I always go for. I don't really do that much with my makeup other than this. Sometimes I can add some shimmer or some darker lips if I'm feeling to spice it up a bit, but I usually just go for this. It's just giving skin, which I love. I really do hope you guys like this look, and please do let me know if you want more makeup related videos in the future. I love recording videos like this, and I definitely want to experiment more with my makeup 2024. So let me know what type of looks you want to see, and I will definitely try them out. Bye. I'm obsessed with this makeup. It's actually given, and the lips and the glow, it's given rawr.